Welcome everyone to our project management meeting for Thursday, March 12th. We're going to jump to our second item on our agenda. Oh, let's do our introductions. I'm Jenny Knight, City Administrator. Sarah Wickern, City Planning.
Matt Robertson, City Engineer.
Grover Williamson, City Council.
Tyler Seaman, Building Inspector. Brian Barker, Northview Fire.
Thank you. We're going to jump to our second item, which is a review of Heavanly Roads Subdivision. Jed, want to join us at the table?
Right, chief. Yes.
So do we have I didn't have any new plans submitted that I'm aware of.
Just the ones, the latest were the ones submitted January, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think,
Sorry, I missed you yesterday.
no, that's okay. So I believe the plat's all been approved. I do need the addresses, but I think that's the last thing. And we're just waiting for one of this, the other engineer double check the plan, I believe. So I think that's.
Did you get the county survey review?
Mhm.
Okay, on actual subdivision plat, not just the annexation
Yeah.
plat. Okay, please send over that documentation, because looking through
I'll double check that. Yeah,
looking through the approval letters, we were just missing. We were county surveyor and botanist.
okay.
So, yeah, double check the county one.
Double check the county. Right now, I think we're approved there.
And then do you know, I know we talked the other day, but what's the status? Have you heard any more from botanist?
I talked to Penny and they just said, I didn't get them as fast. I should even know I had it. I didn't get over to them, so they're just reviewing it. But we have every other comments addressed, so.
Okay. All right, I know those are the last two things I mentioned to you the other day. I mean, to be honest, I was waiting to see those and to do my final review
Okay,
and kind of pushed it off while waiting for those, so.
I'll follow up with Kenny, I had a chance to.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to double check with you. The detention basin. Now remind me that I believe like on the plat, that's been dedicated to the city. Is that right?
Or does it remember?
I thought it was because you're combining it's on the other side.
Oh, I'm not familiar with construction drawings, but my partner, that's,
Yeah, so parcel A,
this is parcel A, yeah.
okay, I just want to double check. The public works on that, I think, because what you're showing is,
Existing.
they're showing retention and detention, right? So I think they're trying to show that. Because and this is probably before you took over my middle and Cody was doing it, but the geotech report and that the soils actually percolate decent over there, which we generally don't see in Harrisville.
Okay,
So there's a little concern about doing the retention in the bottom, where it's a city basin that will end up with standing water that will be a pain to maintain. But I'll just follow up with Public Works and double check geotech report again. And make sure that they're okay with that.
okay.
And then let's see, okay, our office, we need to send you over addresses.
Fine.
there anything else, Sarah? I know at the last meeting a couple months ago, we talked about, but I think they made that change. They're trying to get more parking in the back.
That's more parking.
Yes, with parking, and then we're worried about the fire circulation in the truck around the back, and I think we took care of that, so. By the driveway,
Trying to see, does it go all the way around the back?
It's not look right there.
It looks right here, yeah.
Oh, it looks right there, okay. And that radius works for fire, that's what I'm worried about.
I had a, I think, side.
Yes.
All right, I think those were the main things, so let me know as soon as you get Bonavista, and if you'll help check on the surveyor
Okay.
as well, that'd be great.
Let me use this one here. I mean,
101.
that's just,
Your request,
Huh?
that's your request.
it's fine. I was at the meeting when it was approved. Yes, I remember that big discussion on, so, yes, and thanks for reviewing. And reminding me,
It's been in the talks for a while,
yes.
but it sounds like we're gonna do it for real this time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
to get you old, it won't be there.
Who's the contractor on it? Do you have that? Okay, so you don't. The one thing, just to plan early on this, because it always turns into this at the plan review stage. On townhomes, you're allowed to pass the electrical as service entry wire all the way through the townhome if you have a maintenance agreement with the building. So if you don't want to do that, then you need to have it go all the way around the building and enter in through each individual unit.
Okay,
So just something to think about. The state of Utah allows for that to go through the wall as long as there's an agreement that says unit 1 is allowed to let unit 7 into their unit.
you mean in the CCRs?
Yeah.
Are these gonna be individually owned or rental?
A little of both.
Because that might be hard. Does it matter if they're individually owned to have shared electrical?
That's the point of it, is it should be, if it is individually owned, so that first unit basically can't control all, but there's a 5
So they have
flex.
to have an agreement.
Yep. That someone can climb in their attic and address it exactly.
I would never.
Yep.
Do what you want, Jed, but I know the
It's
preferred
one of
method.
it's one of those things that,
Why won't you do?
Oh, I would want each one of them to have an individual electrical connection. I just know, even as simple as an HOA, that just daisy chaining the front lights together and having, the issues of individual owners having to deal with their neighbor not maintaining their electrical could be really problematic long run. I mean, not for the first 20 years, but
They let their lights go out, you mean?
like one would be out, but then someone has to dig up somebody else's yard and
yeah,
so if somebody has to dig into someone else's house for their electrical, that sounds not fun.
Dibs on you.
the preferred method for sure is going around in conduit and entering in each with a junction box in each unit. But that's 101 units, that's pretty expensive. So that is why the state put that into legislation that allows it to go through the walls if that's what you want. You just have to have an agreement, so there's not fighting, or there's a legal protection.
Yeah, probably an agreement that's been done in the past.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can find one.
Maybe if you have a chunk that's rental, like these ones are gonna be rented, so the HOA will function well, and then separate for the ones that are individually owned, you could work out an arrangement like that to save cost. Just looking at me like Sarah's crazy as usual.
The lots haven't been figured out yet.
Oh, okay.
So you just look from
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on the planning commission together, so I'm like, Sarah.
Well, yeah, just let us know on those 2 approvals, and then I'll follow up with you on the basic.
Addresses.
Basic, yeah. But then once we get those approvals, we should be
Yeah, you did. We don't have to wait for the next project management meeting, just so you know. If it comes in the next 2 weeks, we can issue a final approval letter as long as we can check all boxes.
Good.
Gonna happen, Jed.
How long's it been? How long's it been we want
It's
this?
been 3.5 years.
That's what I thought. Right, it's come
A
through.
few changes between now and then.
Well, glad you're still right in your hurt.
Okay, I think is. Any other questions you have for Tom?
No, thank you.
Any questions you have for them? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, are we ready to circle back to number one? Or should we make you,
I've never been that.
or should we make you wait till the end of the meeting?
Well, if he's quick,
Probably, I don't know.
Up to you.
I can wait. I can wait.
Okay.
Let's let him go.
All
I'll
right,
wait.
that's generous of you. We will chat.
That's why you're number one.
take as long as I can.
Then I want to be number one.
Right, let's see. We have your submittal. This, we should all be familiar with your submittal. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Anything you want us to know?
No, I think there was just some confusion on our end. We got the approval last time and there was the moratorium on Highway 89 coming up for utilities. So we quickly got the utilities stuff in, and then to build the project, the site had to be mitigated. There was a bunch of junk on the property. So we did that, and then submitting for a building permit in July 2025. We got reviews back. There was some commentary about the geotechnical report. So we had our geotech engineer come out to the site, write an addendum to the letter that the site was now up to snuff and able to be built. And then we got to here, and a pause was put on because construction hadn't started. So I think on our end, we believe construction had started by doing these steps so that vertical construction could start. So in terms of that, I don't know if that qualifies, but at least that's the explanation on that waiver again.
So, and the amount of work, just to be clear, you stubbed in utilities from the highway,
Yeah, before they,
right, before they did the paving, and that was last summer or a year ago.
it was July 24 when that moratorium was coming up.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
July 24, okay.
And then 2025 is when,
So that's why you came back in July 24. Okay, because your original site plan approval was in 22,
right,
and then it lapsed. So you came back and got site plan approval again in July of 2024.
yeah, from 22 to 24, there were some partners on the project that we were trying to figure out, and then from 2024 till now was UDOT utilities getting that in before the moratorium, and then mitigating the site, because the neighbors around, we believe, it was just full of concrete and
Is there landfill?
yeah, so as our resources were free, equipment wise, we were out there getting rid of the junk. And then our permit submission, the Commons came back and we wanted to address the geotechnical report throughout the fall. And CMT came out and did that letter, took some time. And then getting that and responding to the building permit review comments pushed us past the deadline.
So your request is, does that qualify
I
as
mean,
work towards the project?
Yeah, I mean, it was our understanding, whether it was right or wrong, that was, we can't do construction without those that's in place, at least vertical construction, but maybe our nomenclature was that the construction had already begun.
So I guess it would be up to this team whether that constitutes enough
And if
construction for it to be considered.
Was that, permitted with the right of way excavation permit? That worked?
Did you have your UDOT
Yeah,
permit?
Yeah,
so they had their conditional access permit, and then they got an encroachment permit to go out and do the work. Back, yeah.
Is that still in place? Did it have any expiration through UDOT? Usually they
Expires
within a
I
12.
don't know, I mean, the work's completed.
But I don't
so-
think they need to go back in.
Completed and signed.
And then if it helps at all, the building permit is complete, the review is
Yeah.
complete, so that helps with anything.
With this layout,
Well, if it just helps with any decision in weighing, going through the process again, nothing has changed,
So because I guess the background too is, so site plan approval is good for 18 months, with, unless they ask for an extension. So we're just,
Outside of that.
past that
Yeah.
18 months.
and our impression was that we'd begun, so the extension wasn't required.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know how, I don't think much will change on the design, so on my side.
I have planning concerns, but I wasn't a part of the original, site plan review, so.
Are they like
Well-
safety stuff? Is it?
Just the setback on, next to the agricultural piece should have been 20 feet, not 10 feet. Because it's next to a residential zone. I don't know how important that is, to you all. And the parking's really concerning to me. There's 4,500 square feet of, shell space. And all of our commercial uses, none of them, so I counted like 69 parking stalls, is that right?
There's 72.
There's 72.
So,
And
so like the kind of L-shaped building is on the actual building drawings, it's distinctly limited per space, how much can be used for office or business, and the rest is like warehouse. The idea is that like a siding company would have their office there, and then there would be some staging in the garage for,
like warehousing for it.
yeah.
So
So
I think a lot of these, that they don't quite fit into the commercial zone and they're not quite manufacturing. And so, yeah, this.
And then
one.
with the setback, it was approved, that bar that burned down, they had big plans for the land around us, and they
Oh, it was supposed to
were
be
part of
commercial.
the agreement, and they
Signed
were
off.
okay with it.
Okay, that helps with that. I'm still a little concerned about the parking, but it's been approved this way before, so I think if it continues, it continues.
And the thing is when I was going through, the building permit and putting on architecturally the parking allotment, I guess I was a little, I thought we were tighter on parking than we were, so when I was doing the math on the small office space, what we had proposed is I didn't know the front building could have as much use on the retail and when we reverse engineered the parking, it seemed like we were slightly over parked from our end in terms of planning, not in terms of Harrisville City, but we were,
For how you would plan on using the
for
land.
how we thought everything was gonna be, limited in use to that business storage structure, but if that can occur on the L-shaped property, which is planned, then it does leave quite a bit of space open for that frontage building.
And you would be limited when you come in with your conditional uses. If you wanted to use those as retail, they just wouldn't be viable with the amount of parking. So that would be something to consider, is if you wanted to figure out more parking so that you would have more retail viability for conditional use permits. Because otherwise those may not be approved, yeah.
Yeah, it's just we're in between, so with our plan, we're over parked, and if someone wants to come in and put a salon, then we have to start
Well,
reducing.
According to Harrisville City, you're not over parked at all. Even, So let's see, you've got, how many units are there? 20 units and 72 spaces. And so you've got like 3.5 spaces per unit. So,
We just think there's gonna be several of these that get taken up 2, 3 at a time with no extra office from a business standpoint.
So-
But we're not looking for any,
so just like a warehouse.
yeah, we're not looking, well, just trades that have larger staging needs that don't, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people just can't afford to store stuff outside anymore these days, so.
Yeah.
In terms of parking, I was happy when we were going through with, you know, redoing the math after a while. And the interest that we've had on the project. I think it was better than anticipated. Just in terms of people taking larger chunks of space.
So one thing with the agricultural, it's a little, so.
It's just that
this
one
is-
side,
Right,
yeah.
because this is C2.
Right, it's just that,
This is.
it's just that one
this is the
side.
side.
Yeah, so it's not a huge portion, and if it was agreed from neighbors and,
Well, I'm trying to go, I mean,
you know,
I'm going back to 2022 to see what.
And on recent projects that I've worked on as just the architect for, as, you know, we're doing the shell of the building as the tenant improvement permits are pulled, then we're re-asked for the parking allotments.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yeah,
So we were getting the owner had certain plans, which I'm both right here, you know, and then they had certain businesses come and occupy a building in Harrisville. And we went back through with Tyler to make sure that there was adequate parking per those business uses.
Mhm.
And so I think in terms of that process, that the conditional use, if that's what we want to call it, when each tenant gets their tenant improvement permit, have to be.
yeah, it'll just be redundant, it'll just limit what you use the shelf space for, and that'll be, yeah, your prerogative on that.
So I just have 2 questions. Did we hold a pre-con for the construction ever for the project?
I don't think we did. I think they went in, they got their UDOT approval and they were just doing the UDOT stuffs. So
So
I'm
we,
trying to get in right before the paving, so I don't,
never
don't
did
have-
hold a pre-construction meeting.
no. Not on site work, I don't believe.
I just feel like that would have shown, you know, some initiative to start the project.
Right.
We do want to make sure that you're up to date on your fees for the city, and we have a little discrepancy possibly on our side on what we've been calling this project. We had it listed as Bailey X or Bailey 10.
Yeah, so
Is it Bailey 5? Is it
So
Bailey V?
Bailey 5 is the current owner of the land, and then Bailey X is like a joint venture with the owner, and Bailey 5 is a member of Bailey X.
But it's the same project,
It's the same project.
because we do have an outstanding balance for that. If you'll just get with our office
Yeah.
and make sure that that's taken care of. We didn't want to charge the wrong project, so we had this listed as Bailey 5.
Mhm.
And the fees are under Bailey X.
Yep, and we can get that paid immediately, and
That would be my 2 things from the admin side. If the team is comfortable with,
Oh, there was one other thing I found odd, there's parking in front of the garage access too.
are you
Sure.
counting, the parking is counting towards parking, but it's blocking the access to the building?
To the garage access to the building.
Yeah, that would be.
so there'd be a rolled curb, so someone could, you know, you basically back a trailer in to unload. But each unit with, you know, the 3.5 stall spacing, it occurs within the front of their unit.
What about our legislative team? Are you okay with that, Angie and Grover? If we were to allow, if we would consider the work that they've done as moving forward on the project without a new full review?
You had mentioned the pre-construction meeting. Is that necessary? I mean, I have no problem with what you're doing, but you know, I'm on board with this, but does this need to be added into it before it moves on?
Yeah, we have a pre-con on our commercial site plans, for sure. That's something we would do before they. When you've had your building permit, pretty much you're just waiting for land use sign off on your building permit, but.
Yeah, I don't have concerns. I mean, it feels like it's all been done in good faith and they're just trying to get their I's dotted and T's crossed. So as long as they meet your admin requirements,
Yeah, it's 3.5 space. And of course, I live in a different world. My world requires an audience, and so tons of parking is needed. So if that's adequate, I don't know on this. You know, I understand what you've done,
For
but
some uses, it
I was gonna say that-
that'll just limit what kind of conditional uses are allowed in the show space.
well,
You know, as the building owner, we don't want this many tenants. Like, that is not,
Not ideal.
that's not what, you know, this is the way it's laid, and the reason it's sort of laid out like this is for fire. You know,
so it's more of a storage facility than it is a, even though it's a business office, it's really more.
yeah, so, you know, in our network, we just have a lot of businesses, like I said, you know, a siding company or a blinds company that is having to keep a lot of inventory ready, but not,
So you're not planning retail, it's hard because it really doesn't meet what our code wants. I know it's already been approved and everything, but we
Well,
would
yeah.
want to see more retail presence, which would mean at least, you know, a little more parking. So that's the challenges. That's what we want. We don't want to
the
see
retail
warehousing.
side that we've seen is at least the interest, it's sort of along the same vein. People wanting to have a small office space and a showroom space, and then do it that way.
You know, I've been out through, what is it, Antelope Drive or Hillfield Road that comes in and on the west side past the Walmart. There's a lot of these little lighting places, and then you walk in, there's your showroom, and obviously the rest of it is storage. And so I understand that, and it seems to work pretty good, because that's right, you only have 3 or 4 parking spots in front, and that's it. So I'm familiar with that. I assume all the brown area is basically what? Landscaping store.
That landscaping, and then there's a little detention area that's double as landscaping down in front of that front building.
Sure. And you said there's only a 10-foot, what, easement in the back end?
Yes.
And those people have basically said that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rules are.
if it was up against another commercial zone, which maybe
Part of it
5/8
is.
Part of it is,
whatever,
yeah.
then it's 10 feet, which is what they went with.
Okay,
But there's this little stretch from here to here
Yeah.
is A1 still. This is C2, this is C2 up to there, but that little bit's A1. Well, that's probably what it is.
But it's
Yeah.
not developed currently, so people know what they'd be getting into.
just want to make sure they're okay with it.
And you're ready to issue permit.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know if these were finalized, but
I
yeah.
was gonna say that
Yep.
impact fees might need to be
Yeah, no, this is,
assessed. But
we just actually, oddly enough, we ran into a challenge on someone built something similar to this over right by, I don't know. The challenge is he came in and got, you know this actually, it was you were the architect on, but it was for the,
Nano?
yeah, it was Sanoflex's building. And they ran into issues when they started bringing their tenants in, because they were needing more parking. So just something, yeah, obviously this meets the building code right now as it is, because this is all just open. So there's tons of parking right now for building code and for ADA compliance. But that's the challenge is if you get, you know, I think that's like kind of like a jungle gym.
Yeah,
Place.
area 3 use is what started really hitting
Yep,
their numbers.
and he had to add, yeah, an ADA spot in, and it bumped up. His parking count is struggling now with the, whatever else comes in there, so.
Just to give you an idea, typical commercial uses, we'd expect you need 150 stalls for a typical full commercial for that much square footage, not, you know, so at 72, it would definitely need to be a lot of warehouse storage.
That could,
Well, that's what they were showing. I mean, originally, they were trying to show that the front, that they're saying this much square footage is gonna be
Right.
retail.
Yeah.
58 stalls for the retail, and then this much, the back part's warehouse.
Wow.
yeah,
We need 12 stalls according to the
Yeah.
code for that. That's how they split it. That was-
Yeah.
yes.
Whether
And
that's.
what's likely gonna happen is there's gonna be chunks not driving vehicular traffic, and then one, you know, like one unit that comes in that as we go through and can, you know, average out that business warehousing use, it just gives us the flexibility.
Remind me on the north side, yes, there isn't a secondary access with this because you were originally partnering with that north project.
Yeah, so
So is
the north,
fire, you okay with just?
Yeah,
putting
there's
the
a
rest
way
of
around
us?
that,
You can turn around in that space.
cause it's, I remember the north side, it's gravel,
yeah,
yeah.
Also, it is,
It's got like an easement, I think, on the neighbor's
Yeah.
properties.
They do have these-
Gray area.
Yeah, the gray
that
area.
was on my notes.
Well, yeah. The other thing.
But it was tied with the other development too.
Yeah. Is that a recorded easement?
you know, I don't know, on our plan. On our side of things, we still want to have. The north access, or. We're kind of, I mean, the way it works, you know, someone might come in and go north and in, but we're sort of imagining coming in on the UDOT and going through, so. Whether they're in business wanting to do that, we're likely just to want to have from at least. You know, the corner of that top building. You know, paved out and accessible for vehicles.
Yeah, I guess my concern would be if there's no if that's not on your property and there's not a recorded easement, then you only have one access and.
That's limited to.
So that might, but I do remember the original in 2022 particularly, that's when we were dealing with the north parcel. So I think we would need some kind of documentation and if that requires a secondary UDOT permit for access onto the highway. 'Cause I don't know who owns that.
It already exists, and
But you're making a change to it, which triggers UDOT to do a review. Cause that right now it's just a open land.
yeah, this
Is that on your property?
exists. This part is been, over the years.
This access hasn't been approved as part of this project, has it? I guess I should pose it differently. Has this access been approved? Part of this?
Well, I don't fully, it's been approved per the landowner,
There's,
but I don't know if there's an agreement, I have to.
there's a right of way, there, it shows on this plat, so there was something, there's this.
Recorded. Okay,
Right there, I remember something about that, but,
I just don't want to.
Right.
yeah.
Not
comes in
address
like-
it if
It comes
there's-
in like that.
So I think all things considered, if we can show that you can access that and it meets the fires.
Fire code, it's. We have that requirement for single family and multifamily, but commercial is.
Pretty open-ended.
It's pretty open-ended, yeah, one access is usually sufficient.
But you would need to be.
So we need to turn
around.
around, yeah, so we need that turn.
Okay.
So the right of way definitely, but the access on the UDOT may not be,
Yeah. Right.
critical. You can turn around.
One thing, one thing that was required, Jeff, was to record, an easement over that sewer line. And it shows it on the plans, but I don't know that that's ever been recorded. So that sewer was intended to, I believe the property to the north of you was planning on tying in their sewer right there as well, and then running out, so that would make that a public sewer, which is why it was required to have an easement dedicated to the city over that sewer. It shows it on the plans, it's on all the review memos that needed to be recorded, but I don't have a copy of it. So that'd be something we would need as well.
Looking at the plat on my iPad is showing a bunch of like weird boxes on it.
Where's this easement? The sewer easement doesn't show anywhere here. Where's it supposed to? What happened? Like the sewer easement.
This one through the parking.
Why is it? It costs them to really have it.
Yeah, they're tight on parking.
Well, I mean.
Chad and I had to do an analysis.
Yeah, well, I looked at down the soccer place down the 12th.
Here's, you'll be able to see it first. That's the challenges. These are coming in as shells.
Yeah. And it's also, right?
As I,
Because
As long as
I can see soccer. and I can see.
That's even green on the sewer.
it's not in that space.
Shell.
So
But you can't.
That's how they're all going though.
Jim Flynn did it for
So
us.
I think plan B needs to be
I
considered.
don't know if it's,
So
I
this,
just wanna make sure I have the right.
they're showing this is a
Pulled up.
condo plan, like you get
It will happen.
rent out, but this.
yeah, it's just the most.
And without
Private
that access.
So someone could play this.
Your part, right?
On the street with
Yeah.
them.
Wanna make sure I'm not too far off.
So that was just the most recent one I have. I don't know if there's a different recorded. I'm just pulling up the
Gymnastics
most
places.
recent email with the plat.
Right, but there's no plat, there was never a plat.
They're trying to get out there.
It was just a site plan, so it all became,
Yeah,
you're gonna condo minimize those. And that's.
Big plan.
That's where I do that.
So subdivision uses.
And that's.
For which one?
okay.
Like.
And I'm just pulling up the email, so I just.
Yeah,
Commercial places.
like I've never
Not
seen
allowed all
that. plat.
That's.
Well, they want parking for it, authorization.
Oh, so there's the right of way.
So this is what Matt's talking about here.
Disaster.
So it's showing up on the plat as a right of way.
Yeah.
Cause originally, I know you guys were partnering, well, not partnering, I don't, shouldn't use that word. Coordinating
Yeah,
with this, and they're selling their property now.
yeah.
So we just wanna make sure that you're,
You know, yeah, from our access point, we want that right of way to be usable for our tenants.
So do you have a plan B if you need more parking? Because, we were just talking about the soccer place on 12th Street. And that's a nightmare, 'cause, that's our family thing. And I can visualize this having something like that in there, and it'll cause you guys to scramble for more parking.
Yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, when working with the building official, when tenants come in, if there's not viable parking, they'll just be rejected.
Okay, and that's fine,
Yeah.
but they're gonna be knocking on your door.
We just
well,
won't
I
approve their.
just prefer that you guys, sorry, but I prefer you guys kind of take care of that on your end and not allow, you just let your tenants know that certain uses, because it just makes the city the bad guy if they come in. and
Well,
apply
I
for
think
business
what I'm
license
saying
and
is
tell them no.
because of my experience in dealing with that as an architect on projects in the city, we won't get to that point when someone comes in.
Excellent.
And there will be some documentation in terms of just keeping track of what's available.
What uses.
So if someone comes in and they need more, then the next person needs less.
Now, and what were your, are you guys intending to do a plat?
No, I don't know, this is old and dated, I think it's just an example, I was just pulling it up because it had some semblance of those easements,
Yeah. Well,
Right now, the intent is or just one ownership or long-term ownership and rental, because if we go, we've looked at going the other way. But it becomes an absolute nightmare in terms of HOA agreements, just not something we're interested in. So previously it was looking at phasing, but now the financing it, we don't need to phase it.
Yes, you guys will own all of it.
We'll own all of it.
And the sewer, that's one thing with the sewer, if. I think we showed that he's, because I believe the property to the north was gonna tie in their sewer to this manhole.
That's what I remember. yeah.
If that's not.
If this is all owned by one owner, then it can be private. But if you're gonna have more than one owner on a sewer main, that needs to be public sewer. So that's why the requirement to court easement. And maybe, I mean, you're showing it there, maybe check with Jim and see if they ever did get an easement recorded.
And there have been some future planning in case that's a direction anyone wants to go, but for right now, it is just lease space.
And Matt, as long as it's built to city standards, they could always turn it over to the city later and get the easement later if they decide to do something
Yeah.
different.
And what I showed Matt is it, I think it was a forward-thinking example of how that would look.
Just make sure you meet the city standards when you build it, so that's an option, and then that could happen later.
Because again, it's platted per, this plat is platted per individual unit, but if anything were to ever occur, these are actually separate buildings in terms of fire areas. So it can, nothing can ever, if it were to even get sold off long-term down the road, it has to go in roughly 9,000 square foot chunks.
Right, and if you were ever gonna sell it, then you'd have to be coming back here and doing a condo plat.
Yeah. So we explored the condo plat as an option. It didn't look enticing at all as a building.
Anything else? Any questions on your end, Jeff?
I don't know.
Well, I guess,
Productive meeting for you.
yeah,
He should have taken it.
well, we told him we were gonna make him wait. So are we okay with that, if they be, like, if they get their fees paid?
Yeah.
I mean, do their.
I think we're okay.
All right, well, I would like, though, before you do any site work, we should have a pre-construction.
I like that too.
So let us know when you want to set that up.
Yeah, we'll get everything caught up and then. How do we set that up? Just a call or is it on?
Yeah, I have your total here on sticky note,
Okay.
but we'll email you the invoice.
Okay.
To get
I'll take the sticky note too. Thanks.
You can coordinate with me.
Perfect.
I'll go public words, set that up.
All right. Thanks for your time
Okay.
today.
Thank you. All right, now we'll go back to number one. You haven't been here for a minute.
3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Sounds like a step.
He's the mayor.
So I'm here requesting to amend the entire subdivision. We would like to add an additional 30 units.
I knew you were kidding.
Only 30?
Oh, in phase A.
Yeah, oh, okay, all right.
We've got some open space we figure we could use, and we'd like to do some detached structures.
Sorry,
Sarah's not, I was gonna say Sarah's not quick again on
Oh, you did?
accessory dwelling.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No,
I'm sure that was.
so in all seriousness, these changes that are on that plat map, those have been made. LEI made those adjustments to correct the elevations there. So that's all been done, and I think it's even on the printed Mylar that I brought in.
We'll
The other
double
day.
check when we draft my signature.
Yeah. So Our request was, to allow basements in on those lots that do not currently have structures being built on them. We went through and did our geotech testing and tested, all of the lots to make sure that they perk and then establish the base level for the groundwater and then brought that up 3 feet that the city's ordinance requires. And so the numbers on that table reflect the requirement of the ordinance for the water. Part of the reason we're coming back after the fact is there's so much field across the site that we were spending thousands of dollars to bring engineered fill up to get slab on grade when we could just do putting foundation. So that's what. And we have incorporated your recommendation, not your recommendation, but your requirement for GFCI outlet. We're not putting it in the barrel though. We're gonna put it on the house.
Okay.
Because if that barrel ever has to be dug up or replaced or something for some reason, we want the electrical outlet to remain attached and not cut in half.
I think that'll be great for Christmas lights on the bushes.
Right.
It's important.
Yes.
They don't know what a blank paper you're doing for them. It is very important in my world. I'm like, where is the plug?
Well, plug it in, I mean, you can pump your water out and
Where's the plug?
do your Christmas lights. So
The barrel's gonna be pretty close to the house, right?
the barrel's gonna be in the front of the house, because that was the other discussion we had, is we didn't want people dropping pumps in that. I'm pumping the water into the backyard.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the water out, right? So if in the event that those have to be used, drop them in the front, it'll be on the front corner of the house, probably by the porch. Drop that pump in, run the hose out to the curb or thereabouts so that it gets out. And then allow them, it's just a temporary pump, it's not meant to be a permanent fixture as needed.
I'm gonna look up and see how long those cords are.
I think they're 3 feet.
Are they only 3?
That's being sarcastic. I have never seen people splice cords.
Bring up a good one, because that pump's gonna be 6-7 feet in the ground.
So,
You can't use a 3-foot cord then.
Well, you could, it's just gonna have a plug.
yeah, so, yeah, I mean, so it's.
That's why it's not a GFI too.
This is AI, so
Okay.
don't just, I mean, it could be right, it could be wrong, who knows? Power cords typically range from 8 to 25 feet, typically they're 10 feet,
Oh.
so. So I think you'd probably be,
You okay?
yeah,
I
that's
really
just,
like it for the front porch though, instead of just loving that.
Instead of where?
In the hole. It's not very useful in the hole for anything but water. I just
Oh.
like it being by this outlet. I just like this front porch outlet.
We'll call it a service outlet.
Like garland, I've never seen porch, and I know this can't be a requirement.
What
but I
the whole-
don't know if we talked about highly suggesting that your construction team put walkout basements. Did we have any kind of discussion about that? I know we can't require it, but we can suggest it
Okay.
as a
That would be
highly.
a fantastic suggestion.
Because when people want to turn their basements into ADUs, they don't have to come back. It's much it's much more affordable at the time of construction to put a walkout basement than to go do it 5 years down.
Oh, so you're, okay, so you're saying put a stair
Walkout basement.
walk, yeah, okay,
But-
okay. For some reason I was saying daylight basement. Yeah.
No.
That's what I thought.
No, an actual access.
Yeah.
We can't require it, obviously, but, when people want to turn those into ADUs, it's fair, they have to have one, right? But just limits the homeowner.
Aren't we looking at townhomes here though?
No,
No,
these are homes, single.
Yeah.
Any of
There's
the,
townhomes up along the, above, yeah.
But I don't,
no,
I
those,
guess internal,
those I was worried about. We're talking single family.
but the single family homes, we're not looking at around, the internal allowed on any ADU, it's just the detached that we're. So parking, I'm really concerned about encouraging ADUs in this at all, so I would say don't do walkout, just let's not encourage that. 'Cause there's
Well,
other
I know.
I say fire would encourage walkout,
I know.
Fire what?
fire would encourage.
Encourage, okay.
I'd rather be sending firefighters in a walkout than down, please.
Yeah,
Then you go down a chimney if it's on fire. But,
we don't have any cheap.
no, there would be a chimney.
Oh.
You missed that one.
Yeah,
Well, from the family standpoint too,
but, I mean,
the whiteouts are fantastic, whether it's a full door or whether it's an access out the back of a garage that goes into the basement. Makes a huge, huge difference on even appeal of a home.
Yeah.
And safety, like, it's way easier to teach a child how to open a door than it is to unlock and exit a window.
It's not a requirement, just for the record, it's not a requirement. It's just
Well-
a little,
A design suggestion.
yes. Just a little
Feature.
suggestion.
No, I don't have a problem taking that back to the team, seeing, sometimes those walkouts can be a little. Depending on where. they
Accurate
take.
space to be able to.
Yeah,
accommodate
and
it.
maybe on your larger lots.
I met with, I mean, this is kind of a side note, but last night after I left here, I met with some residents over on what is it?
Hunting Creek?
I think great.
Creek, yeah.
Yes.
On a recent water issue that we have. But they were asking if we would consider providing a bigger buffer between us and them, and I said, of course, yeah.
I'm sure they were. That's my opinion.
Unfortunately, is it?
I can almost,
Yeah.
yes,
Anyway,
I mean, that's.
but I will meet with them again, not that we're gonna provide a bigger buffer, but we'll see what we can do to try. As well, so
City road trees.
maybe, well, I can't, because we've got
Infrastructure.
storm drain structure.
Oh.
over there.
They're talking about a buffer from that basement or from the row of homes.
From the entire project.
Yeah.
But isn't there screening requirements around the whole community, if it's use and?
Oh, it's
Residential.
But not doing it's residential.
But generally when it's like I know this is already done, but generally if it's like a higher, like a, cause is this
No, but-
mixed use residential or mixed use?
This is it's a large project.
So it's something I would have required in a development agreement that they did not.
There's
I'm glad we got in when we.
There's fencing in place, but it is abutting residential.
How deep is the lot between the structure and
They're, they, I don't know, I'd have to go look and see what the plat says.
I can't remember what you have on.
They're back.
Yeah, I can't, I don't remember.
I used to really start bringing the house down front.
You're probably like.
I remember measuring the house.
3 to 1
back.
as far as.
I don't know what you're putting back. in
2 to 1.
Yeah, they're just single families, it'll just be similar to what we're building
So
right
you will
now.
have at least
The,
lot to lot.
the challenge is, you know, we had to build the property up to get the sewer and the water to drain. And so our development now sits 5 feet higher than those that sit on Huntington,
Hunting Creek,
Hunting Creek.
Hunting Creek and Diane,
Yeah,
400 West End.
and so, you know, there's already a 4 or 5 foot elevation difference, and then we put another 12.
Well, the worst
20 feet on
elevation,
top of that.
the one nice thing though is the worst elevation difference is in that corner where the basement. is.
Right.
So you
Right.
won't have homes.
Yeah.
That basement is sitting up pretty high
Right.
compared to those. But as you go back to the north, they meet grade a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about going back to the west.
Well,
Still a bit of.
like the west isn't nearly as bad as that south. Right.
So I don't think we have any other comments on the actual basements and the approval of the amendment, do we, Matt?
No,
Not
it's
changing
just that.
anything? It was just those.
I'll be coming in to you with changes to 2E and 2E as well.
The same basement stuff.
Yeah, we haven't even recorded those at all.
No.
So.
So I'll put the table on there and then bring it back for you.
And it would be kind of,
Review, approval.
yeah, whenever, at this meeting first, and then we'll go to planning commission and back to this meeting. Jack's out of town until next week, but I'll have him prepare the final approval letter,
Okay.
and then we'll sign it. And,
One question I have is, can we submit for building permit reviews on when we start submitting for building permits for
2A.
For 2A.
Yeah,
for
because
basements.
I don't see, are you okay with that, Kevin?
I don't mind. Doesn't
We'll just, they'll have to, this will have to be recorded before we.
flag them when they get submitted. What's her name? No, the lady that does the permitting.
Robin.
No, Denise, yep. Denise is submitting. So we've canceled all the old permits that didn't have basements. And then Denise is submitting new permits that have everything in line with that, and then I'll just go through and flag them until this is recorded, just so they don't get issued accidentally, but Denise is really good with communication, so
Yeah.
she knows what's going on.
Yeah, we can do that, and then we'll start collecting signatures on your plat.
Okay, I don't think I got our signature on the plat. I just picked it
We'll
up
just do
directly
ours.
from LEI, and
Okay.
so if you wanna get all your signatures on, I'll get my signature on, and then I can take it to the county.
They removed the signature block based
Oh,
on the email.
That's right, they did.
So
They
the
don't have-
county will have to sign it.
Okay.
So I think we're it. We'll just collect all our signatures and then.
Okay.
We'll let you know when it's ready to be picked up,
Okay,
and then you can get your owner's dedication.
very good.
Anything else?
No, I think
Right, we will.
I won't be meeting with you tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
I don't want to say that.
do we have anything for the project management team that needs to be on the record? Discussion? I don't have anything. All right, we will officially close our meeting.